This is LBC News.
In other news, the parents of the teenager who was killed when a car was driven on the wrong side of the road near an American airbase in Oxfordshire have told the High Court the person driving the car was never entitled to diplomatic immunity. Anne Sakoulas returned to the United States following the crash in August last year that killed 19-year-old Harry Dunn. Efforts are underway to try and extradite her back to the UK to face justice. Joining us on the line is extradition specialist at BDB Pitmans, Anthony Hanratty, who can tell us more about the likelihood of extraction happening. Will she have to come here, do you think, Anthony?
Unfortunately, I don't think the outcome of this case will affect whether she's extradited or not. The judicial review application by Mr Dunn's parents is effectively that the Foreign Secretary made an unlawful decision that she had diplomatic immunity and that he unlawfully interfered with the police investigation on the basis that she had diplomatic immunity, and apparently there was some communication to the US that she could leave the country. Now, what the court can't and won't do is say whether that decision was wrong or whether she did or didn't have diplomatic immunity, just whether that decision was unlawful. But even if the court do find it's unlawful, it's unlikely to have any effect as it stands on the US decision not to extradite.
If that happens, will there be any more recourse to the court to try and get justice as the family want?
To an extent, the CPS has already come to the conclusion that Ms. Sakoulas didn't have diplomatic immunity, and that's why they charged her with the offence, and the extradition request was made. So I think this is more about holding the government to account in the decision that was made. Obviously, there's a lot of change going on in the US at the minute. As things stand, there's going to be a different administration in January. It could be that if it's accepted she didn't have diplomatic immunity, a different decision could be reached if an extradition request is made further down the line.
Will a change of US president have a bearing on any future case or this one?
Yes, it will. It's down to the US Department of Justice to decide extradition requests and the US Secretary of State. Obviously, with a new administration, there will be a new Secretary of State, and it could change the attitude towards the extradition request.
Thanks for talking to us. Anthony Hanratty, who is an extradition specialist. A 26-year-old man has admitted murdering 3 friends in a knife attack in Reading.